We are overwhelming ourselves with entertainment, videos, TV shows, movies, music, podcasts, and on top of that, we're constantly bombarded with notifications. We are always engaged with something, and as a result, our ability to focus is deteriorating. This isn't just a personal observation, research supports it. Attention spans are shrinking. It's easy to blame the internet for this, but the issue actually predates it, though the internet has certainly made things worse. If we want to address this, we need to break the problem down and examine its roots. That's exactly what we're going to do today. I'm dividing this issue into 3 key parts, starting with the transition from books to television. In the 1980s, Neil Postman wrote Amusing Ourselves to Death, where he explored how shifting from a culture centered around written words to one dominated by mass media, especially television, was reshaping society. The invention of the printing press revolutionized communication, allowing radical ideas to spread quickly. Without it, events like the Protestant Reformation, the Enlightenment, and even the American Revolution might not have happened. Media theorists like Postman, along with Marshall McLuhan, argued that the medium through which we receive information influences how we think. McLuhan famously said, "The medium is the message." Postman examined early American culture and described what he called the typographic mind, a mind trained to engage in deep, rational thinking through prolonged reading sessions. In other words, people used to be better at focusing. This brings us to the first key takeaway: reading strengthens your ability to concentrate and shapes the way you think. However, over time, reading has been replaced by passive media consumption. Even in Postman's era, people were watching more television than reading, and the situation has only worsened with the rise of smartphones and the internet. 2 moments in American political history illustrate this shift. In 1858, the Lincoln-Douglas debates showcased lengthy, structured arguments. Some debates lasted 3 hours, with candidates delivering hour-long opening statements. Audiences, accustomed to reading, could follow these complex discussions. Fast forward to 1960, when the first televised presidential debate between Kennedy and Nixon took place. Instead of a 3-hour debate, the entire event lasted just 1 hour, and each candidate's opening statement was limited to 8 minutes. Viewers no longer had to follow a single thought for an extended period. Instead, information was delivered in short, digestible segments. The biggest takeaway from that debate? Nixon looked bad on TV. His poor television presence may have cost him the election, showing that appearance was becoming more influential than ideas. Television trained people to consume information in short bursts, reducing their ability to focus. It made them more concerned with how a candidate looked rather than what they were saying. If a 3-hour debate had been aired on primetime TV, viewers likely wouldn't have had the attention span to watch it. Focus is a skill that requires training. If we primarily engage with media that delivers quick, stimulating content, we don't develop the ability to think deeply. As a result, when we do try to focus, such as reading a book, we struggle. Some argue that reading books is inefficient and that better ways exist to absorb information, such as summaries or even YouTube videos like this one. But that's just an excuse. Watching a summary or a video is a completely different experience from reading a book. Reading forces you to follow an author's train of thought, strengthening your own thinking and focus in the process. It's a mental workout that other forms of media don't provide. However, television isn't even the biggest factor in our declining focus anymore. A cable news show may get fewer viewers than a popular YouTube video. Today, the biggest culprit is the internet itself, with its endless notifications and overwhelming content. Postman couldn't predict the internet, but Nicholas Carr, in his book The Shallows, builds on these ideas. If you had to sum up the internet in one word, it might be chaotic. Websites and platforms are designed to keep you engaged indefinitely. Look at your YouTube homepage: endless rows of videos, notifications, a search bar promising infinite content. Click one video, and you're instantly recommended a dozen more. The moment you feel even the slightest bit bored, another option is waiting. We've become so accustomed to this rapid, chaotic consumption of content that it feels normal, but it's rewiring our brains. Unlike books, which demand your attention, the internet constantly pulls your focus in different directions. It teaches us that information is disposable. If something isn't immediately engaging, we move on. Carr emphasizes the brain's plasticity, its ability to change based on what we do. The more time we spend jumping between digital distractions, the worse our focus becomes. But the good news is that since the brain is plastic, we can retrain it. By reading more, consuming fewer distractions, and reducing screen time, we can regain our ability to focus. However, we have to recognize that there's a battle for our attention, and the fight is far from fair. Massive corporations employ experts in psychology and design to keep us engaged. Former Facebook president Sean Parker admitted that the platform was designed to consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible. Social media engineers understand how to keep users hooked, providing small dopamine hits through likes, comments, and notifications. Books, in contrast, don't fight for your attention. They require you to willingly give it. Screens, on the other hand, steal it. That's why I describe the internet as a hostile design environment, a space deliberately built to keep you distracted. Even the creators of these technologies are aware of the dangers. Steve Jobs wouldn't let his kids use an iPad. Mark Zuckerberg and his wife reportedly don't allow their children to use Facebook. The people who built these platforms understand their impact and take steps to protect their families. So why don't we do the same for ourselves? Rebuilding focus is difficult, but possible. Here's how: reduce phone use. Take long breaks from it, even entire days if possible. A device in your pocket that constantly demands your attention will weaken your focus. Consume media that demands engagement. Watch meaningful films rather than content designed for passive, distracted viewing. Learn to be comfortable without constant digital stimulation. Go for walks without your phone. Allow yourself time to think, reflect, and sustain a single thought without distraction. By making these changes, we can retrain our brains, reclaim our focus, and start paying attention to the things that truly matter.